Hey, Facebook. Hey, Instagram. Hey, y'all. I hope that y'all are doing well. And wherever else you see this video, hey to y'all. Like I said, I hope you all are doing well. This video is going to be talking about the Great Resignation and what that is and what it's going to look like or what it's looking like, I put it that way, in your environment, in the world, in the U.S. I can't speak for other countries, but here in the U.S. So, like I said, I'm Tonetta. I'm your personal development coach. I want to say thank you for being here. I hope that you all take a moment to, of course, sit back, think about this video, that kind of thing as well, because this will be a series of videos, just to let you know. And this one is just the first one. So, like I said, I got Instagram streaming here, and I got Facebook streaming over here. So, like I said, definitely, it will be on YouTube as well once I'm done with this. So, like I said, you can see it in a whole gamut of places, just to let you all know. Just in case you have friends that are on YouTube or any other place, make sure that you're sharing this with them or tagging them in the videos so that they can get this information as well, so things can make a lot more sense to them regarding the Great Resignation. So, again, I'm Tonetta, your professional development coach. Thank y'all for being here. So what in the world is the Great Resignation? I know a lot of folks are, of course, wondering, like, what is going on? What's happening? Why every time I go to the grocery store or to a hotel or to any place out, I guess I put it that way, why is there a shortage of workers? Why we don't have enough workers to work for the cities to plow our streets? We're having a snowstorm right now. That kind of thing. Like I said, that's because of the Great Resignation. There's a lot of things that's happened during COVID that people are starting to realize and understand when it comes to employment, employees, employers, and what's to them fair. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, definitely it's a lot. I know some folks talk about the money aspect and all this kind of stuff and the free money or whatever it was. I forgot what the name of it was during COVID that people got when the unemployment, when they were laid off and that kind of thing, when the jobs were closing. Like I said, people just got wise during that time. It may have something to do with money for a small percentage of people, but for a large number of people, like I said, I'm an employee. So I know for the large amount of people, at least 90% of people, of course, it's the relationship between the employer and the employee that's, of course, causing this gap. And there's a lot of issues in between, I guess I put it that way as well, that has went on for years that have not been addressed. And like I said, that's why I'm doing this series. Because, of course, like I said, I'm an employee. I'm still working as a full-time social worker. I've been in the field 22 years, and I have seen a lot of stuff go on in this field, and I guess in my workplaces, I guess I put it that way, over the years, and it's just like, come on now. This doesn't even make sense for one. Some of the stuff that go on, I guess I put it that way, it just doesn't make sense at all. And I'm like, okay, we don't have to do the same thing, keep up with the norm, and have folks going into the office every day doing all these things. I have said this kind of stuff for years. You don't have to go into the office every day dressed up, all this kind of stuff. It makes no sense to do so. And like I said, I guess during the time of COVID, people finally got wise to think about these things and wonder why they're going to work to spend 8 hours at the office, and it's like, okay, for what? You can do the same thing at home, since a lot of folks had to work from home. I guess I put it that way as well. And like I said, people just got wise with the stuff that was going on. It's not just the work hours and the work day. Yes, that's included. But like I said, there's a lot of other things, and I will, of course, go over some of those things as well. But for you all who have businesses, and those who have worked in the past, I guess if you're not currently working, I'm sure a lot of these things you can identify with. Like I said, the main thing that I see, that I've talked to people about and that kind of thing as well, and that I see in my own self as far as being an employee and that kind of thing as well, and a small business owner, I see that a lot of the breakdown is from the relationship with the employer and the employee. And, of course, between coworkers. Like I said, that's a lot of the breakdown. Yes, it's about the job hours as well. Yes, it's about feeling like you're indispensable, or your employers making you feel like you're indispensable. They can fire you today and hire somebody else tomorrow. I've seen those types of things. And like I said, I know how that can put a cloud over a workplace, I guess I put it that way, and it can make a toxic environment. I have seen that with my own ass throughout these last 22 years. And like I said, definitely, I think employers, business owners, and stuff like that are starting to, of course, understand how the employee may feel in these jobs. I guess I put it that way. They may not understand all the aspects of what they are. Well, all the aspects of how these things may have been created. They may know that they may have a small part in it, which they have a half a part. It takes two to tango, so it's half and half on both ends. But like I said, definitely they have to look at, too, what they can do to, of course, increase the enjoyment and the happiness of the employee in the workplace. And that's why I'm called the professional development coach. I know of course, we have professional development at work. Some jobs have it a lot. Some jobs have it periodically, I put it that way. Teaching you how to be the best employee, how to perform your job better, how to create your time management while you're at work, all those types of things. And like I said, while that stuff is important, employers have to understand, and business owners, CEOs, whoever, have to understand that it's not how it does have something to do with the employee knowing how to do their job. Majority of the time, the employee knows how to do their own job, and I'm sure other people's job in the agency as well, or the company as well. I'm very sure of that. But it's the main thing is about making sure that employee is happy within. That's why, like I said, I'm the professional development coach. I'm bringing y'all that professional development that you need to, of course, help work on yourself as far as creating your own happiness, to figure out who you are and who you want to be, and then acting on those things. And then, of course, reinventing your life at some point as well, if that's what you choose to do. Like I said, there's a lot of things that that jobs will not teach you. And this is one of the things. Like I said, at some point, we have to realize that in order for, I don't care what person, if it's an employee or have a business, or it's a business owner, or whatever that person's doing, they have skills that they have, if they're not already happy and being themselves and that kind of thing. Nothing else, if they cannot be happy, if they cannot be themselves, if they cannot feel that they are needed wherever they are, they're not going to give you 100% in any kind of company or any kind of position. I can tell you that now. We all know that, and we all hear the term that hurt people, and that's the truth. They do hurt people. They can come off as a horrible ass boss. They can come off as a toxic employee or a coworker that's just making the whole entire environment just go down and go down. It can come off as a whole lot of things. But we know that hurt people. And that does not stop when it gets to the workplace. I'm sure y'all understand. Well, I hope that you all understand that. Like I said, that does not stop when it gets to the workplace. We would, in a perfect world, we'd hope that it would. But like I said, it does not stop when it gets to the workplace. And like I said, the Great Resignation, with all these issues, all the things that's going on within the office and that kind of thing. Like I said, folks are just tired. For a lot of them, it has nothing to do with money. It has all to do with their treatment in the workplace. And how the workplace, of course, the employers, the CEOs, the business owners, and that kind of thing, are keeping the same kind of norm going when they see that you can work from home with a hell of a lot of positions, but you still want to keep micromanaging folks, having folks at work and doing all these things just to look over the shoulder because you're not secure in the whole as a manager or a supervisor or a CEO or the business owner. People see that now. You can no longer have that. So let me go ahead and tell y'all some of the stats on the Great Resignation. Like I said, since the last year, 2 years, since COVID has been going on, the Bureau of Labor Statistics report that nearly 4 million Americans quit their jobs in June this past year, and a huge jump, which was a huge jump over last year. There were some that quit their job. It would have been back in, 2020. Well, let me see. Hold on. Okay, 2020. Like I said, there are a lot of them who, of course, were either the job shut down, that kind of thing, or they left their jobs because of whatever issues, and I go for some of those shortly. But also, like I said, this past year, 2021, they saw nearly 4 million more people quit their jobs. And like I said, that definitely is disheartening. I guess I put it that way as well. I know that we all, of course, go to, like I said before, go to the store, and are we going to? I went to several hotels in our trip we had back in November. We stopped at one in Georgia and one in what's that? One in Louisville, Kentucky. Tennessee. I forgot. I forgot which part of Tennessee. Whatever it was, the hotels barely had enough staff to run the hotel. I've been to grocery stores where there's not even enough cashiers to even check people out, and the self-service lines are totally backed up. I've been to restaurants, and of course, they don't have enough staff, so it took a long time to get our food. Like I said, I know everybody has been going through the same thing, and the Great Resignation is the reason why, y'all. I gotta move my leg, y'all. Sorry. Like I said, the Great Resignation is the reason why. And of course, you can't fault every single, employee or employee that's, of course, at these jobs. But just keep in mind that after years and years and years of torment for some of these people, being unhappy in the workplace for a lot of these people, being stressed as hell in the workplace for a lot of these people, dreading to go to work on Mondays, and what I posted last week about the 5 areas that you could distress in, how to lessen your stress. I posted that last Friday. I said in that video, Monday is the one day that a lot of employees usually have heart attacks and strokes. And that is a fact, and that is a statistic. You all can look that one up as well. And like I said, some workplaces are just very, very like I said, toxic. There's a lot of favoritism. There's a lot of things that's going on that people are sick of. And like I said, we can't fault every single employer. Some of it's the employees and the coworkers not getting along well, creating the toxic environment as well. But like I said, it usually comes from it's usually the relationship between the employee and the employer. And like I said, this Great Resignation, I'm hoping that I can add some insight into these things that's going on with this series that I'll be doing coming up, starting right now. And like I said, I'm hoping that I can shed more light for the employee and for the employers so they can figure out some things that they can work on to better their workplaces and to create more happiness within their employees. And like I said, let me give you some examples, of why people may not have returned to work. And like I said, this is not all of it. I know a lot of it deals with that. I don't even know if it says that in there. Some of it doesn't, but like I said, definitely what I talked about the bad relationship and the broken relationship between the employee and the employer, that is definitely number one. I can tell you that from being over 20 years as working as an employee in the helping field, that kind of thing. I don't care what kind of field you're in. The number one cause is usually the employee-employer relationship. There are some other things. Some folks work from home and they discovered that they liked it a lot better. We all been, of course, it was since I'm 45 years old. Since way before that, folks were having to be called to the office every single day. When I was growing up too, that a lot of those jobs you don't have to do at the office. I kept questioning why, what's going on, asking my dad, that kind of thing. Because he was an office worker too, a typist for Southwestern Bell. Well, now it's called AT&T, telephone company. But I'm just like, what's the point of you doing all this stuff? It doesn't make anything better. What is the point? Just to go up and sit up in somebody's office all day long while they control you and do all this. Like I said, I was speaking like this since I was a little kid. This just hasn't been the last few months or year at all. I've been talking like this since I was a little kid. But like I said, definitely some employees, like I said, you realize that when you're, of course, working from home, you realize what the possibilities are when it comes to the actual job itself. And like I said, that's what a lot of folks, of course, realize, that you can work from home, especially if you have a desk job. All that translates to is just having your laptop or your cell phone, whatever kind of work phone you're going to use at home to do your job. That's it. And making sure that you're carving that time, the same work time that you'll have in your work day for your actual job at home. That's all that means. And like I said, a lot of employees realize that they don't have to sit up in the office controlled all day long, in an unhappy workplace all day long. They can sit at home in their little office or wherever they have their office set up at home. And of course, take care of the kids, take care of the family, do some things at home when they have their breaks and that kind of thing. They can still manage their life a lot better at home. Like I said, that's another one. And again, they recaptured the time that they spent commuting. A lot of folks commuting back and forth to work. I only have less than a 10-minute commute going back and forth to where my job is. That's luckily for me. There's no traffic. There's no highways in between that at all. But I've been at offices where I've had to travel 30, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour getting to work because of the traffic in the morning, because of accidents, because of all this stuff, because of the distance and the drive. People realize that you can save a lot more money and save a lot of your time instead of commuting to work, just to work from home. That saves a lot of time, a lot less road rage, all the type of stuff. All the smog on the roads, of course, it cuts down on all those things. And like I said, when everybody had, or a lot of us had to work from home, like I said, people realize that people are not dumb. People understand that just because they're an employee don't mean that they're dumb at all. Majority of the time, they're smarter than the damn boss. Majority of the time, from what I've seen and what I've experienced. And it's just like, okay, come on now. Do you not understand what people are, which to me, that the employees have to advocate for themselves as well. But sometimes advocating for yourself will either get you looked at crazy at work and questioned, possibly wrote up and fired. A lot of folks don't want to speak up in the workplace. That's another thing. Like I said, that's the relationship between the employee and employer that I was talking about just a little while ago. They also seen how they can help educate their children in the safety of their homes without having their kids and their families affected with COVID. Nobody wants to constantly go into the office. You have no idea where your employees or your bosses went and kicked it for the weekend. You have no idea who in the hell they've been around, whether they were wearing a mask, any of those kind of things. You feel safer in your home, especially when it comes to a pandemic like this. And they saw that teaching and educating their kids at home, of course, that they can do that while working their job and that kind of thing as well, from the house. And not having to feel like they have to go into an office and every day somebody comes in, they're trying to hopefully think in the back of their head that I hope this person isn't sick. That's going to affect me. Then I'm going to lose weeks of work because I have to go get tested and then stay out for 10 days. And I'm losing all this pay to do what? When I could have just kept my ass at home to begin with. That cuts down on all those things. Another one, like I said, they save money on a lot of things. They realize how much money they would save, of course, by not having that long commute, using all that gas. They know how much money they can save by, of course, making sure they have meals on the table, cooking at home, that kind of thing, during their day, during their evening, whatever time their work time, their food times are. And like I said, you can save money by, of course, working from home. People understood that during COVID. Like I said, the employers, like I said, looked at the people like they most times were indispensable. And a lot of them did. And like I said, that goes with their relationship. Again, like I said, when you have employees who are worried about their kids, we all know that the schools were shut down for months, damn near a year. Some employers did not even care about that. They still made people come to work. I can definitely tell you that. Daycares were shut down. No, people don't have support. Some folks don't even have support or a partner or anything else to even watch their kids while they're going to work. Employers, well, some, I can't say all, but there are some out there who do not care. They still wanted you in the office to do what? You can do the same thing, work from home, y'all. Some of these people, of course, experience loss and grief. There's a lot of people who lost loved ones, parents, family members, children, all kinds of folks that they knew. And some of them are grief-stricken, still going through the process of grieving and that kind of thing, and are scared as hell to, of course, step back out there and start back working in somebody's office when they have no idea how sanitary it's going to be and who their employees have, who their coworkers have been around. So like I said, we have to realize those things when we're talking about the Great Resignation. Then, of course, there was a lot of employees who I'm sure learned new skills and abilities online. We have all this online teaching. As y'all saw, all those teaching courses, all those prices went through the roof. They made billions of dollars in the last year, 2 years with online courses and skill learning programs and stuff like that. People have, what employers may not understand is that your employee, like I said, most times knows way more than you do. I can tell you that. And most of it, well, I can't say every single job I've been in, but I have seen this across the board. The employee has a lot of skills, a lot of talent, a lot of creativity that they can add to the workplace. But when you try to bring forth that creativity or those skills, or you're looked at like they only want what you have to offer. And I've done that before. I've been through that. Not even being looked at like you don't know what you're talking about. You one of my employees. I don't care what you got to say. That's basically the words that was told to me. And like I said, I know there's other employees out there who work for other companies who get shut down when they're trying to talk about a skill, that kind of thing, some that they have, another way that they can assist the company. Just because you have one job title does not mean that you don't have creativity and skills in a whole lot of other things. Everybody does. And like I said, what employers fail to realize is that while these employees were at home, off, having more time, that kind of thing, they were able to learn more skills. And some did, I'm sure, create businesses. I've seen so many articles about folks who were laid off, folks who were working from home, that kind of thing, started their own businesses, making way more than what their jobs were paying. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so, yeah, they quit. Who wouldn't? Unless you just love what you do and still want to keep that part-time business, that's up to you. But a lot of people do not love what they do because they have no room to move up. They have no creativity that they can put forth because they're looked at as that their information and that they don't know what they're talking about. People don't want to feel that way in the workplace. I have seen it countless times just in the 20 plus years I've worked. And like I said, a lot of folks won't even, especially employees, they won't even come out and say these things. But like I said, that's the reason for me doing this series about the Great Resignation, so I can talk about these things that's going on in the workplace and that I may have seen or experienced throughout my 20 plus years of being an employee, or that I know other folks that I work with and other jobs that they've had that they've experienced and that they've told me about. That's why I'm doing this series. And like I said, I hope this series, I'm sure, I'm going to say I hope, I'm sure it's going to be a great series for those employees and those employers out there. I'm not going to just dog the employers out. I'm not going to do that. But like I said, a lot of the things that's stemming from this Great Resignation does have to do with the employers and how they've treated the employees over these years. I'm sad to say, but that is the truth. And like I said, I won't dog them out and say, but I will, of course, create some, well, I guess also give them some tips and tools they can use to, of course, better themselves as managers, as CEOs, as business owners. That is, of course, saying that they're a leader over these employees. If you don't manage yourself well, you cannot manage your team well. And they all notice that, I'm sure. They may not tell you because they're scared to tell you. They don't want to be fired or anything from their job. But like I said, I'm going to tell you that in these videos. I can't point one job out or one person out, that kind of thing. But I will give you lessons, experiences, and of course, some tools and tips that you can take back when you all are trying to recreate your work, I guess, the workplace. And for the employees who's wanting to go back to work and that kind of thing. Some things that you can do to, of course, lessen that stress and to have a better employee and employer relationship. And like I said, definitely, those are the things that I want to make sure that I let you all know. And like I said, just that's what the Great Resignation, those are just some of the things that the Great Resignation, that's included in the Great Resignation, I guess I'd say that. And like I said, that's how it's affecting everybody in this world, I guess, in the U.S. And of course, I've just let you all know what it is. And like I said, it's definitely important that you all understand that this Great Resignation, I don't know how long it's going to last. I do not know. But like I said, people are getting very wise about what they want to do with their lives. Excuse me. And like I said, that's why I'm here as a professional development coach. To, of course, assist you all on that path to recreate yourself. To, of course, reinvent yourself. And to find out who you are and who you want to be in this world. And like I said, your employers are not going to ask you that. They most times can care less. And like I said, that's why I'm here to help you figure out those things. So with that, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. One more thing. I do want to let you, I will leave a link in the description of the video. I have two things. One thing is I did a free ebook for you all, just to let you know. I did it about a week ago, something like that. There's a free, I'll leave my link tree, but there's a free ebook in there. And it's talking about how to, of course, figure out where you are to know where you're going to. Like I said, it's a 10-page ebook. When you go to my freebies page on there, swipe left one time, and you'll see a page that has freebies on it. And of course, that first one is the free ebook for you all, so that you can read that ebook. It's 10 pages, so that you can read that ebook, figure out in those 7 areas. Like, it's talking about health and fitness, it's talking about career and business, education, all that type of stuff, to figure out where you are in 7 main foundational areas of your life, so that you can know how to move forward in those areas. And yes, just keep in mind, I love to journal, I love to write. So a lot of those journal prompts in there, you will have to get something to write with, piece of paper, notebook, pen, that kind of thing, in order to, of course, process those questions and think about your life when it comes to those 7 areas. Like I said, I definitely want y'all to pick that up. And like I said, definitely, another thing, TC University is something that I am creating. It's an online educational platform. It's a membership club. And of course, it's going to have videos like this, of course, in there, features some worksheets and different things that you can, of course, checklists and different things that you can use to, of course, help you navigate your life. First, dealing with the mindset. And then, of course, like I said, with everything else outside of that, when it comes to relationships, with partners, with jobs, with your kids, that kind of thing as well. Like I said, it will include that type of information in there over time. Like I said, it'll be videos and some worksheets and some more ebooks and that kind of thing as well. Like I said, to help y'all farther along in life, to figure out who you are and figuring out who you're trying to become. And that a lot, like I said, that goes with the mindset. The mindset is the first thing that you have to, of course, inflict and, of course, improve on, and, of course, make some changes in before you can, of course, move forward with anything else that you're doing. Because if your mindset still says the negative and this is never going to happen, that's never going to happen, then nothing you do after that is ever going to come to fruition. And like I said, the main thing that I'm trying to get y'all to understand with TC University, that mindset work is going to be the most important for y'all. And there's going to be a lot of that in TC University. It will be, like I said, a monthly membership platform. And like I said, definitely I'll give y'all more information. It'll be dropping. I don't have the date in front of me because I can't see the calendar, but the last Sunday of this month in February, just to let y'all know. So like I said, I'll leave that link to all those resources, and there's other resources. You can swipe left until you find the resources, and to also connect with me other places on social media, that's in there too. Just keep swiping to the left, and like I said, you'll definitely see that. But those are the 2 main things I wanted you all to pick up today, that free ebook, and also, of course, make sure that you're in the know about TC University, so that you can stay current, to know what's going on, to know when it's dropping, because I know I'm not the only person who's out there talking about the Great Resignation as an employee, as a small business owner who's creating a business at this time. And like I said, definitely, I know that there's more people out there. Not saying you have to create a business. I'm not saying that, but at least getting your mindset right so that you can be the best person that you can be, either at home and or in the workplace. And like I said, I want to make sure that y'all knew those resources were available. And like I said, I hope y'all tune in for the rest of this series. It's going to be called The Great Resignation, but I'll have different topics each morning for y'all to, of course, think about Monday through Friday, just to let you know for the next few weeks. So with that, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Again, I'm Tonetta Clay, your professional development coach, where I, of course, help you figure out who you are, who you want to become, and so you can help you reinvent yourself. So with that, take care, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next morning video that'll be on tomorrow morning. I don't know the time because we're on a snow schedule right now. So it may be about this same time tomorrow, y'all, sometime in the morning. So with that, take care, y'all. Have a great one.